Hi everyone, this is Heather Lottinen from the Flourish.Academy. This is episode 508. Today we're talking about cameras that won't focus. Have you ever been on a session and you went to take some photos and the camera wouldn't focus? Well, I have, and in fact, it happened to me. It's happened to me in a couple of different scenarios, but the one that stands out the most is when I was waiting for the bride to walk down the aisle, and as she started towards me, my camera wouldn't focus. Oh my gosh. I freaked out, of course, wouldn't you? I mean, even if this were a session you were shooting of a family, I think it would be a little unnerving to have your camera not focus. Oh, but before I get into these troubleshooting tips, do you follow the Flourish Academy on Instagram? It's just at Flourish Academy. I posted in our stories today some of the videos from the newborn workshop that we just posted on the Academy site. So Ann Wilmus is teaching us newborns. I have all of the videos. They are amazing. I posted a clip on Instagram in the stories. Go check it out at Flourish Academy. Okay, but I had a friend send me a text message this weekend, and I have received many of these text messages in the past, which is, Heather, oh my goodness, my camera will not focus. So I'm going to tell you in a moment what her issue was. It was actually the same issue that I had at the wedding when the bride was walking down the aisle. But first we have to talk about how to troubleshoot these issues. So one of the skills we're taught as young engineers is how to troubleshoot, and it has been invaluable in my life, in my business, but especially when working with gear and technology like computers. The first thing I would say, if you told me, hey, my camera won't focus, I would say, can you try another lens? Because if you try another lens and that lens does focus, then that tells me it's a lens issue, not a camera issue. But if you try another lens and it does not focus either, then that tells me it's a camera issue. So immediately I've been able to narrow it down. Now, one of the lens issues, if it were a lens, is simply you maybe hit this switch and took it from M/A, which is autofocus, to M, which is manual focus. So that's one thing you could check if it was just your lens. But if you have a couple of lenses and you try both of them and the camera won't focus, then it's probably somewhere you may have bumped either a dial or somewhere in the menu setting, because every camera is a little bit different. You may have bumped it from autofocus to manual. So on the D750, which is what I shoot, and my friend that texted me this weekend shoots, she had bumped it, as did I, to M for manual. So the bride was walking down the aisle. I bumped it. I could not figure out why my camera wouldn't focus. I grabbed another lens, put it on, still wouldn't focus. That told me it was the camera. Instantly I knew. I looked down and I switched it back to autofocus. Now be careful on the D750. I hadn't bumped it so that it was all the way in M. It was like halfway, like I had just bumped it enough, but it didn't look like it. Like, look at that. I don't know how well you can see that on the phone, but it looks like it's on autofocus. But Stella, you've done this? Yeah, I've done this a couple of times. It's just, I'm faster at catching it. So flip that back to autofocus. Now, every camera is going to be different. Here's what I'm going to recommend that you do as part of your homework. I want you to find it on your camera and post it below. Post what camera you shoot and where this is at, because I had a friend that this happened to a couple years ago, and she was shooting, oh gosh, I want to say like the Nikon 5000 series camera, if I remember correctly. And it's not a switch. It's actually a menu item on the back of the camera. So I asked her to send me a photo of all of her settings in the back of the camera. And big as life, I saw MF. So it was set to manual focus rather than autofocus. Some cameras, this will be a switch. Other cameras, it will be a menu item. I want you to find it right now and put your camera from autofocus into manual focus and back. Okay, on the Fuji X-T3, it's also a switch. It's down here. We have M for manual, C for continuous, and S for single. So this is for the servo as well. I don't recall bumping this one. I don't think I have. I don't think this one is as easy to bump and accidentally change to manual as it is on the D750. And it kind of makes me wish there was a lock here. Like there's a lock on the multi-select dial. Hey, while we're troubleshooting, if you can't change your settings on your camera, is your multi-select dial set to L for lock, and that locks it so you don't accidentally change something. But of course, if you want to make a change, you have to take it off of lock so that you can use the multi-select dial. Okay, so let's talk about manual focus. Do you manual focus? Have you manual focused? I have no ability to manual focus. I have perfect vision. I'm just not that fast, nor am I that accurate. I know that there are some macro photographers out there that use manual focus, but I do not know of a single, not on this planet. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying I don't know of a single person who's angry. Somebody just clicked the angry. Are you angry about something I'm talking about? The camera focuses? Or maybe that was an accident. You meant to click the heart and you clicked the angry face. That's pretty funny. Okay, I don't know a single portrait or wedding photographer that manually focuses their sessions. It is impossible to do. So if you bump your camera or you can't figure out what's going on, then you have to stop until you can figure it out. You can't manually focus these sessions. It's just would be extremely difficult, impossible, to photograph people that are moving in manual focus and get accurate shots. Excuse me. Megan says, I've locked mine several times by accident. Yeah, the lock, I don't have problems with this, but I have bumped this from autofocus to manual focus on my D750 a million times. Again, it's just I'm faster at catching it. So I implore you right now to please get your camera. Post in the comments what camera model you have and how do you switch it between manual and autofocus so that I don't get an emergency phone call. I don't mind them. So that I don't get them like, oh my goodness, my camera won't focus. Are you sure? Is it your lens? Did you hit the switch on the lens or the camera, or is it a menu item? You really, really need to know where these are located. I hope that you found this useful. I'll see you in the next video.